I, 24F, need advice about a situation that's making me really uncomfortable. My boyfriend Jacob, 22M, and I have been dating for the past 2 years. We met during my senior year and his sophomore year in college. I was the teaching assistant for one of his classes, and though we couldn't date while I was his TA, we started going out right after the semester ended. Our relationship has been amazing until recently. Jacob is caring, attentive, and has always made me feel secure. He was my first serious relationship after a string of bad dates, and he showed me what a healthy relationship should look like. We've talked about moving in together after he graduates next year, and everything was going according to plan until his sister's friend entered the picture. Some background about our living situations: Jacob lives with his sister Anna in their parents' house. Their parents moved to Europe last year when their dad got a job opportunity he couldn't refuse. Instead of selling the house, they left it to Anna and Jacob since both were still studying/working in the area. Anna works at a local tech company and Jacob is finishing his last year of college. I've spent a lot of time at their house and even have my own key. Anna and I used to get along fine initially. She would invite me for sister-like activities like shopping or spa days. But things started changing about 6 months ago when she met Karen at work. Karen is the same age as me, but that's where our similarities end. She's the complete opposite of me, loud, outgoing, and always the center of attention. From the first time I met her, something felt off. She has this way of making everything seem innocent while being completely inappropriate. Like how she always touches Jacob's arm or shoulder while talking to him, or how she laughs extra loud at his jokes, or how she always finds reasons to be around him. Jacob never seemed bothered by her behavior. He says that's just how Karen is with everyone, but I've watched her. She doesn't act that way with other guys. Anna started inviting Karen over more frequently, almost every weekend. She would conveniently leave them alone together while she did something else, like taking long phone calls or doing laundry. Last night, things reached a new level of weird. Jacob texted me saying Karen was staying over because she had a fight with her roommate. That wasn't the shocking part. The shocking part was that she would be sleeping in his room because apparently, Anna's room was too small for both of them. I asked about other options: the living room couch, the guest room, even the floor in Anna's room. Jacob had an excuse for everything. The couch was uncomfortable because the cushions were worn out. The guest room was being renovated after a water leak. Anna's room was too cluttered with her work-from-home setup to put a mattress on the floor. What bothers me most is how casual Jacob was about this whole arrangement. When I expressed my discomfort, he laughed it off, saying I was being silly and overprotective. He said Karen is like a sister to him, but I've seen how she looks at him when she thinks no one is watching. The more I think about it, the more suspicious everything seems. Anna has a queen-sized bed. I've slept over in her room before when Jacob was sick. There's definitely enough space for 2 people. And their living room is huge. Even if the couch is uncomfortable, they have plenty of space for an air mattress. I've also noticed other small things that I previously ignored. Like how Karen always brings Jacob's favorite snacks when she visits, or how she started watching the same shows he likes just to have something to talk about with him. Anna seems to enable all of this. She's always praising Karen in front of Jacob, talking about how smart and funny she is, how good she is at her job, how all the guys at work have crushes on her. Last week, I overheard Anna telling Jacob that he needs someone more fun and spontaneous in his life. When she saw me, she quickly changed the subject, but I know what she meant. She's been making these passive-aggressive comments about how I'm too serious and controlling. I tried talking to my best friend about this. She thinks Anna is definitely trying to set up Jacob with Karen and that the sleepover is just another part of their plan. She suggested I should confront Jacob directly, but I'm scared of coming across as the jealous, insecure girlfriend. I trust Jacob, or at least I want to trust him. We've never had any trust issues before. He's always been open about his female friends and I've never had a problem with any of them. But something about Karen just feels different. She's more calculating, more deliberate in her actions. I don't want to be the girlfriend who tells her boyfriend who he can or can't be friends with. I don't want to give Anna more reasons to think I'm controlling. But this situation feels so wrong. What kind of sister encourages her friend to sleep in her brother's room? What kind of boyfriend doesn't see how inappropriate this is? I keep wondering if I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm seeing things that aren't there. But my gut feeling has never been wrong before. Should I confront Jacob about this? Should I talk to Anna? Or should I just wait and see what happens? I don't want to ruin my relationship over this, but I also don't want to be made a fool of. Edit: I realize my post might have come across as blaming Anna too much. While I do think she's enabling this situation, my main issue is with Jacob. He's the one in a relationship with me. He's the one who should be setting boundaries. His sister might have suggested this arrangement, but he's the one who agreed to it. That's what bothers me the most. Update 1. It's been a week since my original post, and I need to share what happened because things have gotten so much worse. After reading the comments suggesting I have a serious talk with Jacob, I decided to visit him the next day. I didn't tell him I was coming because I wanted to see how things really were when I wasn't expected. When I got to his house using my key, I heard laughter coming from his room. I found Jacob and Karen sitting on his bed, playing Mario Kart. She was wearing pajama shorts and one of his college t-shirts. They both looked surprised to see me, but not guilty, almost like they didn't think they were doing anything wrong. Jacob quickly explained that he had slept on the floor the previous night while Karen took his bed. But something felt off about the whole scene. They seemed too comfortable around each other, like this wasn't the first time they'd hung out alone in his room. There were snack wrappers everywhere and empty energy drink cans suggesting they'd stayed up late gaming together. I asked to talk to Jacob privately, but Anna kept interrupting us. First, she needed Jacob's help with moving some boxes. Then she wanted his opinion on what to order for lunch. Then she suddenly remembered they had to call their parents. Every time I tried to get Jacob alone, she found some excuse to keep him busy. Eventually, Jacob went to take a shower, leaving his phone on his desk. I know what I did next was wrong, but I couldn't help myself. I checked his phone. What I found made my heart sink. There were dozens of late-night texts between him and Karen from the past few weeks. While there wasn't anything explicitly romantic, there were lots of inside jokes and flirty comments. They had a running joke about how I'm always checking up on Jacob and being overprotective. But what hurt the most was a group chat with Anna. They had been making fun of my concerns about their friendship. Karen had sent messages like, "OMG, she's so paranoid, and does she think I'm going to steal her precious boyfriend?" What's worse, Jacob had played along, sending laughing emojis and adding his own jokes about how I need to loosen up. When Jacob came back from his shower, I confronted him about the texts. Instead of apologizing, he got angry. He accused me of invading his privacy and said this was exactly why Anna thought I was too controlling. He said I was acting crazy and that if I trusted him, I wouldn't be going through his phone. I tried to explain that my concerns weren't baseless, that his behavior with Karen was inappropriate and disrespectful to our relationship. He just got more defensive and said I was trying to control who he could be friends with. When I brought up how they were mocking me in the group chat, he said they were just joking around and I was being too sensitive. The argument got heated. Anna came into the room and sided with Jacob, saying I was creating drama over nothing. She said if I was secure in my relationship, I wouldn't be threatened by Karen. That's when I lost it. I told them both that they were gaslighting me, making me feel crazy for having normal boundaries in a relationship. Jacob told me I needed to leave and cool off. As I was walking out, I saw Karen smirking from the doorway of Anna's room. She had probably heard the whole fight. I haven't spoken to Jacob since then. He hasn't reached out either, not even to apologize or explain. Anna has been posting Instagram stories of them all hanging out together, game nights, movie marathons, even a barbecue at their house. In one of the stories, Karen was wearing Jacob's favorite hoodie, the one I gave him for his birthday last year. She was sitting next to him on the couch, both of them laughing at something on his phone. My friends think I should break up with him. They say his behavior is a form of emotional cheating, even if nothing physical has happened yet. They think Anna and Karen planned this whole thing to drive a wedge between us, and Jacob is either too blind to see it or willingly participating. Part of me still hopes there's an explanation for all this. Maybe I did overreact about the texts. Maybe I'm seeing things that aren't there. But another part of me knows that a boyfriend who respects his relationship wouldn't let his sister's friends sleep in his room, wouldn't participate in mocking his girlfriend, and wouldn't dismiss her feelings when she expresses discomfort. I don't know what to do now. Should I reach out to Jacob? Should I wait for him to contact me? Or should I just accept that this relationship is over? Am I being naive and hoping for an explanation that could make all of this okay? Edit. Thank you all for your support and advice. Many of you have asked why I stayed with Jacob after finding those texts. I guess when you're in the middle of a situation, it's harder to see how bad things really are. Reading your comments has helped me realize that I deserve better than this. Update 2. It's been 2 weeks since my last update, and I finally discovered the whole truth about Jacob, Karen, and Anna's betrayal. What I found out is even worse than what I had imagined. Last Thursday, I received a message on Instagram from Sarah, one of Anna's coworkers. She said she had been feeling guilty about knowing what was really going on and felt I deserved to know the truth. At first, I was skeptical, but then she started sharing details that only someone close to the situation would know. According to Sarah, this whole thing was carefully planned by Anna and Karen from the start. When Karen joined their company 6 months ago, she immediately noticed Jacob's picture on Anna's desk and kept asking about him. After learning he had a girlfriend, Karen didn't back off. Instead, she convinced Anna that she would be a better match for Jacob than me. Sarah shared screenshots of conversations from their work group chat. Anna and Karen had been plotting ways to make me look bad in front of Jacob for months. The sleepover wasn't a spontaneous event, it was just one of their many planned situations to create opportunities for Karen to get closer to Jacob. They had a whole strategy. Karen would act super friendly and harmless at first, just enough to make me uncomfortable but not enough for me to justify my concerns. Then she would slowly increase her flirting while Anna made comments about how I was too possessive and controlling. They knew I would eventually react, and they used my reactions to prove their point about me being insecure and jealous. But here's the worst part, Jacob wasn't an innocent victim in all this. Sarah revealed that Jacob had been aware of their plan for at least 2 months. She sent me pictures from a party at their office last month. There were multiple photos of Jacob and Karen kissing in the parking lot. This happened while he was still with me, while he was still telling me I was paranoid and imagining things. The photos were timestamped 3 weeks ago, right around when Karen started staying over more frequently. There were also screenshots of conversations where Jacob actively participated in their plans, suggesting ways to make me feel insecure without being too obvious about it. When I confronted Jacob with all this evidence, his response made me sick. Instead of apologizing, he turned it around on me. He said my suspicious nature and controlling behavior had pushed him towards Karen. He claimed Karen understood him better and didn't try to restrict his freedom like I did. He actually had the audacity to say that if I hadn't been so paranoid about their friendship, maybe he wouldn't have developed feelings for her. According to him, my constant questioning and suspicion created a self-fulfilling prophecy. He said Karen made him feel free and appreciated, while I made him feel guilty and controlled. Anna joined in the conversation, saying she had only wanted what was best for her brother. She said she had seen how unhappy Jacob was with me and thought Karen could make him happier. When I pointed out that they had manipulated and gaslighted me for months, she dismissed it as just trying to help Jacob break free from a toxic relationship. The most ironic part? Sarah told me that Karen has a history of doing this. At their previous workplace, she had done something similar with another coworker's boyfriend. Sarah only found this out recently when she mentioned Karen to a friend who worked at Karen's old company. Looking back, I feel so stupid for doubting myself. All those times I felt crazy for being suspicious, all those times I apologized for being too controlling, they were manipulating me the whole time. They made me question my own judgment while they laughed about it behind my back. I've saved all the evidence Sarah sent me, though I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. Part of me wants to expose them all, show everyone what they did. But another part of me just wants to move on and forget this whole nightmare ever happened. Either way, at least now I know the truth. I wasn't crazy, paranoid, or controlling. My instincts were right all along. I just wished I had trusted them sooner. Edit, many of you are asking why I haven't exposed them yet. I'm still processing everything and deciding what to do next. But don't worry, I won't let them get away with this. Update 3. It's been 3 months since my last update, and a lot has changed. After Jacob blamed me for his cheating, I blocked him, Anna, and Karen on all social media. Jacob tried to reach out through mutual friends, sending messages about how he had made a mistake and wanted to talk. I refused to engage. Some of our mutual friends chose sides, most supported me after learning the truth, but a few sided with Jacob, saying I should have been more understanding. Last week, I heard some interesting news from my college friend Emma, who still works at the campus cafe where Jacob hangs out. According to her, Jacob and Karen's relationship crashed and burned spectacularly. Apparently, Karen started flirting with Jacob's best friend Tyler about a month ago. Jacob caught them making out at a party at his house, in his room, of all places. The irony of the situation wasn't lost on anyone. The same guy who told me I was too suspicious and controlling caught his new girlfriend cheating on him in the exact same room where this whole mess started. From what Emma told me, Jacob caused a huge scene at the party, shouting about how Karen had betrayed him and how Tyler was never really his friend. The aftermath has been messy. Anna is stuck in an awkward position at work since Karen is still her coworker. She tried to get Karen transferred to a different department, but their manager refused to get involved in personal drama. Now Anna has to see Karen every day, knowing she hurt her brother the same way she helped hurt me. Sarah, who originally exposed their plot to me, told me that Karen has been telling everyone at work that Jacob was too clingy and possessive, the exact things he accused me of being. Apparently, she's been complaining about how he constantly checked her phone and questioned her about male friends. Karma really does come around. I heard Jacob tried to reach out to me again after this happened, probably looking for sympathy or trying to apologize now that he knows how it feels. I maintained my no contact policy. My life has moved in a different direction now. I graduated and got a job offer in a different city. The distance has helped me gain perspective on everything that happened. Sometimes I still think about how differently things might have turned out if Jacob had been honest from the start, or if I had trusted my instincts sooner. But then I remembered their betrayal, the screenshots, the photos, the gaslighting, and I'm grateful I discovered their true colors before things got more serious. The whole experience taught me valuable lessons. Trust your gut feelings, they're usually right. Don't let anyone make you question your sanity or judgment. And most importantly, don't waste time trying to fix a relationship with someone who doesn't respect you enough to be honest. Emma says Jacob has been telling people he regrets everything and wishes he could take it all back. Anna apparently isn't speaking to Karen anymore and has been trying to rebuild relationships with family members who cut her off after learning what she did. But honestly, I don't really care what any of them are doing now. Their drama isn't my problem anymore. I'm focusing on my new life, my career, and the people who stood by me through everything. Sometimes the best revenge is simply moving on and being happy without them. Edit. Thank you everyone for your support throughout this journey. Your comments helped me stay strong when I was doubting myself. To those asking, no, I haven't responded to any of Jacob's attempts to contact me, and I don't plan to.